She looked at him on national television and said, "I still want to be your wife." Actor Russell Andrews just revealed his ALS diagnosis publicly for the first time, and the love story at the center of this announcement is as powerful as it is heartbreaking. Here is everything he shared. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today we are covering a deeply moving story about courage, love, and a diagnosis that changes everything. Russell Andrews, a character actor known for his roles in Straight Outta Compton, Better Call Saul, and Insecure, appeared on CNN's The Story Is with Alex Michelson on Saturday, May 16th, alongside his fiancée, actress Erica Tazel, to publicly reveal for the first time that he has been diagnosed with ALS. He is 64 years old, and the conversation he and Tazel had on national television is one of the most honest and human things you will see this year. Let's go through everything he shared. Russell Andrews sat beside Erica Tazel on CNN and said the words clearly and directly. "I am a person living with ALS." He was diagnosed in the late fall of last year, making this his first public acknowledgement of the disease after several months of navigating it privately. He did not frame the announcement as a tragedy, though the reality of ALS makes tragedy inevitable. He framed it as something humbling and then immediately pivoted to gratitude. He spoke about the community he and Tazel have found through the nonprofit ALS Network, describing it as a family of caring people he did not know a year ago, who have not let them miss a step in terms of care, attention, and awareness. That instinct to lead with connection and community rather than despair is something that comes through in everything he said during the interview. Erica Tazel, his fiancée, will be taking on the role of caregiver as his condition progresses. CNN reported this alongside the announcement, and her response when asked about what this diagnosis means for their future together was the line that stopped the entire conversation. She looked at him and said, "I still want to be your wife." Full stop. No qualification, no hesitation. That sentence in that moment said everything. For anyone unfamiliar with the disease, ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a neurodegenerative condition that destroys nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. As those nerve cells deteriorate and die, the muscles they control weaken progressively. The disease causes muscle weakness, slurred speech, and eventually paralysis. There is currently no cure. According to the Muscular Dystrophy Association, most people diagnosed with ALS live 3 to 5 years after their diagnosis. However, some patients live significantly longer, sometimes decades. The range of outcomes is wide enough that a diagnosis is not an immediate death sentence, but the trajectory of the disease is relentlessly difficult, regardless of timeline. The Mayo Clinic describes ALS as affecting the nerve cells responsible for voluntary muscle movement, meaning the disease gradually takes away a person's ability to move, speak, swallow, and eventually breathe. Understanding the nature of what Andrews is facing makes both his public composure and Tazel's commitment to stand beside him as his caregiver all the more remarkable. One of the most important parts of Andrews' interview was his account of how the disease first made itself known, because it is a story that will resonate with a lot of people who may have dismissed early warning signs in themselves or people they love. Andrews said the early symptoms were easy to misread. He described a period during the COVID pandemic and the subsequent actors' strike when he was out of work for an extended stretch, around 3 years by his account. It was an incredibly stressful period for the entertainment industry broadly, and Andrews said he experienced what he initially thought were stress-related physical symptoms. He had occasional twitches and assumed he was dealing with pinched nerves in his neck. Then things started getting harder to explain away. He was dropping cups and glasses at night. He felt sensations running up and down his arm. Tasks that had always been straightforward were suddenly taking longer or requiring more effort. He described losing the ability to do things he had always been able to do without thinking. Erica Tazel noticed the changes before he fully acknowledged them himself. She recalled that it was taking him longer to clean the pool. The way he walked had changed subtly. She said she had questions and knew something was definitely wrong, even before she had the language to describe what that something might be. Andrews had lost his health insurance during the work stoppage. As soon as he had coverage again, he went to see a doctor. Within 15 minutes of that first appointment, his primary care physician was already asking him to see a neurologist. One thing led to another, and the diagnosis came. Russell Andrews has spent decades building a career as a character actor, the kind of performer whose face and presence audiences recognize across dozens of projects, even if his name is not always at the top of a poster. His credits include Straight Outta Compton, the acclaimed biographical film about NWA. He appeared in Better Call Saul, the Breaking Bad spin-off that became one of the most praised dramas of the past decade. He also had a role in Insecure, the HBO series created by Issa Rae. That body of work reflects a long, steady career built on craft and consistency rather than celebrity, and it makes the story of him losing insurance during the strike and the direct line between that coverage gap and the delayed path to diagnosis feel particularly sharp. The systems that are supposed to protect working actors failed him at exactly the moment he needed them most. Andrews and Tazel's public announcement serves a purpose beyond their own story. By naming the disease clearly, by talking about the early symptoms that were easy to dismiss, and by connecting with the ALS network publicly, they are contributing to awareness that could help others recognize warning signs earlier than Andrews was able to. Our thoughts are with Russell Andrews, Erica Tazel, and everyone in their family and community navigating this together. If this story moved you, look into the ALS Network and the work they are doing to support patients and families. Hit like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.